Yahweh bless you. I'll be doing tonight's teaching tonight. My name is Aaron Cunningham. Before we get started, we'll be obedient to 1 Corinthians 14 and ask our Father and our Lord to speak through us so we can hear from them. If somebody like to speak in tongues and interpret or prophesy, please do.
Berbesi tu mamara ketaben, berbesi kito shan berokotalala kitmeras. So shadows some Kamaya Kati. Continue moving forward, my children. Don't stop, don't stall out, and don't go backwards. Know that as you continue to move forward, you're going to receive all the joy and the peace that passes understanding that I promised you. Never doubt it. The things that I promised you are there for the taking.
The word of prophecy, as you begin each day, meditate upon my words, put them out in your mind, and actually act upon those words, and it will bring the deliverance I have promised in my word. So never be fearful, but act on the words that I've given you instructions, and they shall set you free and put you on high places as I desire you to be.
Know, children, that you always have a choice. You have a choice to see the light, to see the goodness, and to see my blessings that I've bestowed upon you. You always have a choice to be grateful and to enjoy each day.
My sons and daughters, lay up treasure of the things that I have given to you and that I have made promise. For the things of this earth will decay and break down and be of zero value. But of the things that I have given you, the things that are being stored up are everlasting.
Thank you, Father, for all those things through Christ Jesus. Amen. We can get a short testimony. It was probably last week. I went to work, and after work, I wasn't feeling right. You feel like my throat swelling up, breathing. I'm going great, confessing the scriptures, trying to do certain things. Then I went to a soccer scrimmage. And at the soccer practice, all my joints started hurting really, really badly. I mean, oh man, it's a sign. Yahweh can create our body to say you need a rest. So I hung in there. I stayed there. I encouraged a bunch of kids. I lifted them up, and I came home. The sun's going down, and I just need to go to bed. And then in the back of my mind, I was given an option, as all of us are. Am I going to give any time to Yahweh? And sometimes I think I get revelation, you need to go right to bed now. And we are to be obedient. And I was telling Caven that it's always up to us whether we spend any time with him. And he doesn't lose out. We're the ones that really lose out. Yahweh's got plenty of things. Caven gave me a prophecy once. It was great because he's real quick, shoot from the hip. He said, my son, don't worry about your future. I have many futures for you. How many futures does Yahweh have? Okay, and I sat there and I thought about that. But here I was, needing to go to bed early. I was up kind of late, and I'm like, if I'm gonna try to work tomorrow, I got to do all the rest of these things. And my yard got fried when we went to Yosemite, and my sprinkler system had been turned off, but it's like 100 degrees or something. It was really hot. And in the back of my mind, I was like, I need to go turn on the sprinkler system. And I'm like, wow. Okay, I'll go on a little bit of walk in the backyard. And what it was is that Yahweh opened up something incredible. Now, I had no revelation to go. And a lot of times, you're not going to get revelation. You do whatever you want to do. I see parents do that. What are you going to do? I see that with Cain with his first fruits, whether he gives money or not. When he doesn't, I'm like, I had a talk with him. I said, if I gave allowance to 2 kids, I said, your little brother and you spent all your money as soon as you got it, and the stuff you spent the money on, a day later you didn't play with it, but your brother saved half of his money. The other, like a third he gave to Yahweh, and the other one he waited to see what he's going to spend on. Who's a better steward? He went, my little brother. And as these words are coming out of my mouth, guess who's guilty too? Can you save Yahweh's money? He's watching. It's up to us. What do you want out of this life? I go out to turn on the sprinkler system. And as I get out there, all of a sudden my pain just kind of disappears a little bit. And I turn around and there's cicadas everywhere. It's beautiful. I love hearing Yahweh's creation. 'Cause I like to think of different orchestras. Because at this time of year, when I hear the cicada, it's football season and it's black powder season. It's a part of his clock. And then when it starts getting cold, you start hearing the geese and things migrating south. And then we've got these different, and then in the spring, you got the songbirds, you got all these different things, his orchestra singing to him. But as I turned around and walked back at the spring, the trampoline was right there, closer to the house. And something caught my attention. It was a cicada. And this one's gone to sleep, it's no longer alive. It was singing, and as it was right there, I'm like, it's not on a tree. It looks like easy picking because it's on the net. Really easy to see. Another cicada flew up right next to it. Never seen that before. And usually if they land on a tree, you don't see them anyway. They're really good camouflage. And so what I want to share with you guys tonight is what Yahweh, he showed me about this quick. But it's going to take me 15 minutes just to explain what he communicated. He's such a good communicator. Sometimes he'll teach you something and you're going to go, how do you explain it? It's going to take me 10 minutes to explain what he said. But a little story about cicadas. What are they? Now this is called an annual cicada, right here. And an annual cicada, these guys, everything, every animal, every plant, all of Yahweh's creations is a classroom for any of us to learn something about him. All of it. And so in this thing, they said this is a dog day cicada. It's a dog day. I didn't know about dog days until I read Strooms. You ever heard of the dog days of summer? I never knew what it meant. And why is it? Because they come out during the dog days of summer. They're 3 to 7 years in the ground. Okay? Then they come out. And I'll tell you a little lifespan about these guys. After they mate, the female goes to a tree and slits the bark of the tree or branch and lays the eggs inside of it. When the eggs hatch, the tiny little insects march down to the ground. For 7 years, they live a solitary life not knowing anybody, living off the tree sap. Sometimes it'll still be the same tree. It's from the same root. Didn't know that either. And after 7 years, time's up. They come back out. They crawl out. They know to crawl out. Crawls up on a tree. Knows exactly what to do. It waits until it turns into something else. It creates in this. And then what does it do? It's his next chapter of its life. It lasts about a week, maybe 2 weeks. That's it. And this is what I was getting ready to observe. And I'm going to show you some other things about the dog days of summer and about another cicada. The dog days of summer is called that because of the dog. There's a constellation called the dog. The dog star is Sirius. You can zoom into some of this stuff. It's interesting. Orion's belt is one constellation that I can see a lot. I didn't know this is how it's set. Sirius is the dog days. It's actually a constellation. And you have a pagan religion, which your horoscope. But there are things that looks like a dog, it looks like a virgin, it looks like a dragon. Well, man has polluted. E.W. Bullingro's Yahweh had original names that somehow it was lost. But you had Virgo, and Sirius is a dog star, and this is the dog star. What's the point of all these constellations? Is you have the 12 signs of the zodiac and stuff, but it's a clock. Here's the sun, here's the earth, and as the earth is passing through its 365 and a half days, whatever it is, it goes through certain calendars to show you where you are in your life. Yahweh's measuring our life like this every single day. What are you doing with your life, man? What are you doing here? 365 days is gone. What did you do this year? Did you accomplish anything? I love that Benjamin Franklin would start off his day, what great deed will I do today? Before you go to bed, did I succeed at that deed? And I got to go back to that. But during the dog days of summer, now the dog constellation isn't on this little chart. It's right around here. You know what's also neat, what's on this chart, this quick chart I just did, is you see Virgo, okay? These constellations are not all on one disk. They're different galaxies. They're shifting this way, they're shifting this way, they're shifting this way. Think about it. You ever seen those big, it's like a globe, and it's got a wheel that spins this way and one spins this way? You ever seen those things? When Jesus Christ was born on Tishri 1, about, was it 2 BC or 2 AD?
3.
3 BC. Virgo the Virgin and this was from Victor Paul Wierwille, who wrote this before 9/11, said Yahweh told us when his son was born, but it wasn't before he was born because Satan could have killed him possibly. But after he was born, he showed us when his son was born, and it was in the book of Revelation. And it talks about the virgin, who this is, and it also talks about Leo the lion. Virgo gave birth to Leo the lion. This is what the Magi would have been watching. We're going to go, the virgin is giving birth to a lion. What the heck does this mean? What does this mean? And they would have said, the lion of the tribe of Judah sees the woman. But here's all these different things that Yahweh's got stuff all around teaching us and encouraging us to pursue him. Because I was listening to Dad's teaching about the 1,000-year kingdom that we have. We have jobs. What positions are we going to have? Worthy with little, worthy with much. I think about Hillsong. There's one of the lead singers for Hillsong came out. He's not a Christian. He has more peace than he's ever had. Did you guys know that?
Yeah, I heard
He's
it.
not a Christian.
He's not a Christian. I don't believe in it anymore. And I got to tell all you, I have more peace than I ever had. So I sent a warning out going, warning to you guys who love these melodies. What have you been listening to? Skillet came back and rebutted all. He goes, shame on anybody who listens to a 22-year-old musician to get their doctrine. He goes, that's the problem with Christian today, is musicians and emotional people are, and that's what's happening. It's all about Jesus now. And it started with musicians. Anyways, where I was going with that was, I forgot where I was going with that. Oh, well, must not have been too
No,
much. But songs and music. What's the purpose of songs and music? In the book of Revelation, they sing somebody's song. Do you know whose song it is? Moses' song.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Moses wrote a song. Yahweh. And whose song does he sing? Not Third Day, not Mac Powell, these other things. How are you going to write this stuff? And I read that in the book of Revelation, and I went, what songs are you writing? What stories are you fighting for? What are you doing? Are you going to get credit? Sometimes you're not going to get any credit. And I wonder how many people actually did Moses' song. You're going to go, well, we don't like the way you say that, but Yahweh remembers it. Now, there's going to be a lot of musicians, Strooms, these other guys. Yahweh goes, I know what you wrote. And sometimes he's reproved me for even singing, doing music, because I go, what's the point? Nobody's ever going to read it. I can't write it, and I don't even think it sounds that good. I'm the point. I'm the point, Aaron. You're supposed to orbit me. And if I ask you to sing a song to me and write one, put a melody, that's the point. And one day you'll be rewarded for it. And we, as we orbit Yahweh, we get that choice. What is your obedience? Are you just going to study the Word so you can reprove somebody, correct somebody, or so you can learn something new? Could be. Or is it going to be you studying the Word because you say, Yahweh, I want to seek you out. And He'll reward you. And when's Christ coming back? We don't know. Some glad morning, He's coming back, and that's what we're supposed to be looking for every single day. There's a really neat experience. I had a desire in my heart to, and we're going to come back to the cicada, to go get a bunch of rocks with my dad, because I had a memory with Mom and Dad and all the family getting together, going and getting a bunch of rocks. We built and I remember the whole family doing it. I wanted to do it with my dad, so Izzy tells us we go out to some place called Belmont, excuse me. That was an area. So as we go out there, we got to see something. I had no idea how important it was, but these cicadas came out. They were everywhere. But they weren't like these cicadas. These are cicadas, when they grab you, it's like a June bug. You feel like they're going to lay eggs in you. Get off of me! These cicadas, which I'd never seen before, were delicate and they're like butterflies. So even when they landed, you couldn't feel it. They had these red eyes and they were everywhere. And then when I tried to find out what they were, I think I did a teaching on it a little bit. People all around the world were watching Eastern Kansas.
Oh, is that right?
About this phenomenon. What is this? It's a periodical cicada. This one is even more incredible than this one, because the periodical cicada, which we got to witness, you get to see it's on Cayman's nose, it's on my nose here, and they're crawling on us, they're all over us. It's everywhere. 17 years this bug lives in the ground. 17 years. Lives off the sap. And it's the same tree that the eggs are laid on. So if you see a tree covered in cicadas, it's because it's from the same brood.
Oh, yeah.
Same time it was laid. And so this brood of cicadas, you know how many broods of cicadas the 17-year-old cicada is? How many there are? 4 in the world. The BBC, I forgot the guy's name, Attenborough. He's a really good narrator. Mm-hmm. He's really good. he has a whole thing on the cicada. Here's a bug that lays his eggs, and there's one, they say the eastern United States, here's one of the broods, and I could be a little close to the 4 broods, 5 broods. The one thing that I took out was 4 broods. It lays its eggs as an infant. What does it know about cicada life? Nothing. Has it ever met a cicada? No. It just knows it goes down. So then it goes down and it lives off the sap of the tree for 17 years. They go, scientists have marveled and marveled and marveled. How does this bug know it's not 16 years? Because if it comes up at 16 years, guess what? There's nobody to breed with. But they all know it's 17 years. So people all around the world were watching where we were getting to, and we had no idea. And we've got all these pictures. And then the bug comes up. And here this guy, he's doing this teaching with the cicada. He goes, check this. And he had a different cicada, not these ones. These are very, very rare. 17 years. It's another clock. Tick, tock. Tick, tock. Tick, tock. If I don't get what I want, I'm bailing. You guys ever done that?
Yeah.
I'm tired of it. I've been working on this for a long time. I'm not going to say that verbally, but I'm about ready to quit. You guys got kids, right? He's all yours. But in this, the next time this is going to happen, I got to look at this. 2015. What's 2015 plus 17 years? 2032. I'm going to go back. We should go back. And it could be 17 years. Can you believe it's been 17 years? I'm looking back 20 years ago. I'm going like that, and Yahweh's going tick, tock, tick, tock. When this cicada comes out of the ground, it emerges. Has it ever flown?
No.
No. Has it ever sung? No. And you know what it does? The periodic, it doesn't even eat. It has one purpose. The male's purpose is to
Breed.
sing.
Oh.
And it sings. And it sings. It says make a joyful noise. That's what I was trying with you guys. Do something a cappella. Who cares what you sound like? Blend it in and give it to Yahweh first. And if we won't do that because we're embarrassed, actually, if you're not a good singer, that's a better gift to Yahweh because it requires more faith, right? Actually, I'm the last person that ever wanted to sing in front of anybody. Dad's the one who told me I should do it for fellowship because I could play the guitar. Do you know what the female does? This is deafening noise. And you walk up close to it, and this is a phenomenon. It's so loud you can't hear yourself think. Do you know what the female does? She taps herself like this.
Really?
And he's waiting to hear this tuck, tuck. How does he even hear it? And even this guy, Attenborough, he walks up to this guy going, and he went, watch this. It turned around.
Oh,
It started going this way. And he goes, and all of a sudden he does it again, and the bug's trying to figure things out. The bug's never met another cicada.
Yeah.
Ever. But he goes, that's the sound. And does it again, and the cicada lands on him. And I'm thinking, the cicada's like, it's true love, I guess. I don't know how it's going to work. But I've been waiting for 7 years to meet you. And here it was looking. And he goes to this guy's, this isn't a periodic, this is an annual dog day. They only come out during the dog days thing. And what does it do? It sings a song until a female hears it. He's doing his job, she's going to do her job, and then they're going to meet. So that's the periodic cicada. 17 years, all around the world got to hear about Yahweh's creation. What are these creepy bugs that land there? They don't know how to fly. Do you know why they don't know how to fly?
Nobody showed you.
You go get in a car, if you've never drove before, you go get in an airplane, fly. Where do you got to go? I got to go that way. You got to get these poor guys, you got to give them a break. And anyways, Yahweh designed them. So here I am, feeling sick, feeling horrible. Until I walk back to turn back on my sprinkler system. I turn around, I see one land here, and another one. Oh, the one was on there singing as I walked by. I didn't see where he was, and I did see it. And then another one lands. It delicately lands right there on the netting. So it was perfect. It was like a screen to get to watch something. And I look, and here's Yahweh just going, watch this. And he doesn't tell you to watch it. You just go. For some reason, I thought something neat was going to happen, so I stopped. And I watched. He stopped. He kept singing for a little bit. I didn't know it was a he. I thought they both sang. And this other one's over here. I'm like, I started walking by. I gotta get to bed. I turned around and started watching. Guess what happened? Started to get a little bit closer. They got a little bit closer. They got a little bit closer. And then one of them crawled on top of the other one.
You're funny.
And then it crawled back off. Got beside it. Then this one crawled over and put its legs on it, like this, touching. And all music stopped. He stopped singing. And then the abdomen of the one that was not singing started swelling. I'm watching
So
this.
cool.
What's going on here? And then Yahweh downloaded a message for me as I got the glimpse at this long. Aaron, does this male know how to fly? No. What are the odds? How difficult is it for him to fly somewhere? To do what? To go find his mate? I don't even know how to fly, right? What do they even look like? And then as I was watching, I wanted to see if they looked the same, and they did. It was a cicada I've never seen before. I wonder if they look the same. They do look the same. And I'm watching this, going to go, 7 years it's been a bug, never seen anything. It's living in dirt. Comes up now, this is what light looks like. Now it's got to fly somewhere, and what does it do? It sings, and then it meets this female. They sit there, and I'm sitting there going, what are the odds? You don't even know how to sing, you don't know how to fly, and the two of them met. And there it was right there in front of it. And I'm looking at it going, all these odds are against it. And as I was considering all these different odds, Yahweh said, what are the odds, Aaron? If I can do that with 2 bugs, what can I do in your life that you're about ready to give up on? The odds are against it. Do you think? And I got to sit there and he was just showing me, what are you about ready to give up on? What are you about ready to quit? You're going to go, this bug has never flew, and finally meets a female. I'm sitting there watching this going, because there's a couple things I'm about ready to give up on. I feel like I'm wasting my time. Hey, what's the point? And some of these desires are not my desires, they're Yahweh's desires. But who put the desire in the male cicada? Yahweh did.
Yeah.
And as I'm sitting there, I'm listening to the other cicadas, watching this love story of Yahweh teaching me. Does anybody know what the very last Psalm of the Bible is? Psalm 150, verse 6. Let everything that hath breath praise Yahweh. I know that. So trees make noise, they breathe, so they clap their hands. Everything was created to sing to Yahweh. And as I sat there, and I'd say about what dogs say, what are they saying? They're singing to Yahweh. And I'm sitting there, I'm looking at this, enjoying this beautiful notebook moment. The question said, another question goes, what do you think he's singing? And I paused there for a second, as I was in this moment, closed my eyes, and this is what came. Holy, holy, holy is Yahweh of hosts. The fullness of the whole earth is his glory. And it just started rotating. Oh, holy, holy, it's beautiful. Yahweh's word. It's Isaiah 6:3. And I went and I looked and I went, and you go into the book of Revelation, they're going, holy, holy, holy. The difference between you and I and a bug is this a different love story. The bug doesn't have a freedom of will. We do. And a bug doesn't get a choice whether to sing or not, but we do. And are we going to give that to him? And this male cicada, what was it doing? It was singing to Yahweh, doing what it was called to do. What was the female doing? Doing what it was called to do. And he brought the two together. And then in my life, obviously, I've been single for 9 years, and all the odds that are against it, time flying by, I got to go, this bug's not stressed out, Aaron. It's got 2 weeks, it's going to be dead. And actually, you'll find them everywhere. Now they're feeding everything. And so the challenge and the question for you guys is what are you about ready to give up on? Look at it. And be analytical. Guard your heart. That's good. But then to go, but why not? I think you take a look at it, and I had that with Yahweh, with something, and here I was about a person that I believe he told me I was going to marry, that I don't even know, and all the rest of this different stuff. And I was sitting there, I've been praying about it, confessing things. And before I went to go to bed, because it's not my desire. My desire is not to get hurt. My desire is not to have unobtainable goals and being hurt. Actually, I'd like to get rid of some of these desires. You have some desires you'd like to get rid of? Because they make you vulnerable? Yeah, so do all of us. And as I sat there, I was getting ready to go to bed that night, something occurred to me. Another moment where I just paused, just to give them the stage for just a second. And Yahweh said, what if it's true? I go, what do you mean? Just put your mind there. What if it's true? Each one of you guys, just take for a second, step over all the obstacles between this dream and this desire that Yahweh's put inside you, and mentally envision, what if it's true? In Genesis chapter 18, and I had never done that. Been praying for 9 years, confessing 6 times a day, doing all the rest of these things. And one thing I had never done, turn to Genesis chapter 18. It's page 46. And I had never actually considered what if it's true? And I believe in Genesis chapter 18, verse 14, would somebody just read the first part of that?
Is anything too wonderful for Yahweh?
There's a neat thing about the paragraph Bible. What they explain about, they say 3 different kind of laughs in Abraham's situation. Sarah laughed in unbelief, is what they say, and that's why she was reproved. Abraham laughed after he went, are you kidding me? And I believe personally that Abraham actually stopped for a second and go, what if you are? What if this is true? And you can imagine Abraham going, changing diapers? You kidding me? I'm going to be going to school. I'm going to be to daycare. And he actually, I envisioned that he just crossed all the obstacles and go, what if it is true? And that's what I just wanted to encourage you guys, that if Yahweh could do the same thing with a bug, they're just doing their job. Matthew 6:6 says, or 6:31, can anybody do Matthew 6:31, 33, and 34? Who hasn't memorized? I know Dad does.
What now?
You wouldn't pay attention. I caught him daydreaming.
I was reading the verse.
Go ahead. Did you see something?
Matthew 6:26.
Matthew 6.
Okay, Matthew 6:31,
31.
33, and 34.
Yeah, seek ye first the kingdom and its righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. And not anxious for tomorrow be anxious for itself. Sufficient of the day is the evil thereof.
You're going to go Matthew 6, and then you're going to go, the bug is not worried about tomorrow. We have freedom of will. And if those two things came together, in Matthew 6, if you read the verses before it, Yahweh through Christ tells everybody what they should not worry about, right? Well, how can I be a good steward and not worry about it? My dad will say that, and he's very good at that. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live free. Then I look at bums living on the street that refuse to work. There are some people that live that way, but they're not good stewards. And so what does he ask us to do? Both. And it requires faith. It goes, seek ye first his reign and his righteousness, then all these things will be added to you. We can observe little bitty bugs that are doing Matthew 6. And we can do the same thing. Yeah. But take your imagination and go, what if it is true? Just what if? And guard your heart to go, hey, what if it's not? Worst case scenario, I'll be single for the rest of my life. I counsel a lot of single people. I mentor a lot of people. And I get to hear the problems they have in dating. Hey, that's some tough stuff. But so if I don't get married, I can handle that. But what if this is true? And I think about Ruth or any of your stuff. Just consider those things. Trying to make sure I'm not going to forget anything. And so I guess that was the whole story. A story from Yahweh's little bug, and then reading about shrooms and some of this other stuff. And as I walked away from that, I said, if Yahweh can get these 2 bugs, and think about these 17 years later, how many things are on the line?
Yeah.
He can bring your stuff together too. And how are you going to do it? The same way the bug did. Do your job. Stop worrying about that guy or this person. Stop looking at other people. I got to do my job. And if you're a parent, you got a big advantage. There's 2 people behind you. Yeah. They're dependent on you, right? I'm going to do my job. I got to seek. And if people aren't coming, I'm not forcing anybody anymore. There's another thing I got to do, a prophecy for Rachel that I think comes right into all this. And that's why you covet to prophesy. Mm-hmm. Be zealous to prophesy. Because not only are you obedient, but do you know how many times Yahweh's ministered to me through his prophecy that came out of my mouth? And sometimes later on I walk off, I'm like, I got to write that down. Here is Rachel's prophecy. Have you ever worked Rachel? Have you ever worked with people that didn't do their job, but they worried about everybody else's job all the time and complained? Yeah. You work in a restaurant. You worked. And they won't do their job, but they're not doing this. They got to do this, and they complain about the manager. The manager's they don't know what they're doing. You ever been in a restaurant like that? I went into some bad restaurants. And then you go to Chick-fil-A. Everybody's on board. Quick Trip's good like that. I went to a gas station like that. It was ridiculous how long it took me to just get a pick. But anyways, here's people that are worried about everybody else's job and not focusing on their job. And the prophecy was to Rachel, tomorrow belongs to me. Tomorrow is my job. Stop complaining about tomorrow. I'll do my job. You do your job and focus on it. I've given you more than enough. And if that's not enough, I'll give you more things to focus on today. And by you doing today, I'll fix tomorrow. And I went, golly. Because when you are worrying, like Matthew 6:33, guess who you're complaining about? That's Yahweh's job. He already told you, I take care of that. You do this, I take care. You sow bountifully, I'll reap bountifully. I'll take care of it. And so I'd like to end with an offering from us as a song. I just sing Sanctuary or something. And to harmonize, to give him a song. And I wanted to do the Isaiah 6:3, but that probably wasn't right to put you guys on the spot. And for all of us, give him a song. And be like the cicada, just sitting there going, this is what I was born to do. Father, we thank you for these words. I thank you. We're going to sing a song that I'll give a prophecy according to 1 Corinthians 14 for the listeners and for later dates. And I look forward to hopefully getting to listen to this teaching 15 years from now that reminds us to maybe go out and witness the phenomenon. Lord, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true, with thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary for you. Amen. And we'll give a word from our Heavenly Father. Worry not for tomorrow, for I take care of tomorrow, and my shoulders are strong and broad. For I am your Lord and Savior, and I'll take care of all the rest of the things if you take care of today. Your life is too difficult when you start considering things I've told you not to do. But when you start doing, when you start confronting what I've told you to do, when you start opening my word, when you start opening my Father's word, you start reading it and you force yourself to do those things, everything else will start working together. They'll start harmonizing. And I take care of tomorrow. My burden is light. And my yoke is light. So if you follow me, I'll lighten your load in your life.